Blues Brothers? You've never seen Blues Brothers?
No.
Oh, man. Oh, God.
Tommy Boy?
Tommy. Oh, this is... I'm like turning red. I'm embarrassed. Welcome to the Nick's Boots podcast. I am Shyler Mao.
Thank you for having me.
Who are you?
Customer service manager.
You're throwing me off today.
I'm Abigail, customer service manager here at Nick's.
Okay, we got Kelsey doing the mic stuff. All right, well, thank you for joining us today. Today we've had a lot of the bootmakers on, and a few people from the kind of front of the house, and Abby here has you took over the customer service department like a year ago or so?
Almost. I think it's coming up on a year.
Yeah. Doing a nice job there. So, one of the people here who is very in touch with our customers, so we thought it'd be kind of interesting to put a face to that. And hopefully you don't talk to Abby, because typically she handles the escalations. So, and those don't happen nearly as much as they used to. I swear to goodness on that.
Yeah, yes. Seriously, it's been a while. So.
Yes. So customer service manager, what's the day to day?
Just keeping an eye on everything, like service levels, phone calls, emails, making sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, that kind of stuff. Creating the schedule, stuff like that.
What I wanted to talk about service levels a little bit, because they've gotten a lot better. Like we were kind of in the bad times this time last year. But they've gotten a lot better. Where is your dashboard? Here we go. Nope. Did you send your? Yeah, you did. Mm-hmm. Oh, you sent it out the earliest. That's why.
I was actually on
Kudos.
top of it.
She was on top of it. Yeah, for sure.
I was prepared.
Our average wait time is like half of what it was last year. It's still, 8 minutes. But that's with basically the same call volume. Where we've seen the big increases emails. That's up pretty substantially. And that's good, because in the past, I feel like we had a ton of emails because people were emailing in multiple times before they got a response. And now that doesn't happen. The first response time is it's under 24 hours. It's 15 hours right now on average. And we're getting a lot more new customer contacts, so that is cool as well. Mm-hmm. So good job there. So how'd you get here?
Well, I was working at a car wash back in 2022.
Was it Squeakies?
No, it was Mr. Car Wash.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was a rough job for sure.
You were cleaning the cars.
Well, I was like guiding cars into the tunnel. That and then checking in customers and stuff like that. Really wasn't loving it. It was pretty torture, especially in the wintertime.
Yeah, that's always seemed really brutal when like super hot or super cold.
Yeah, exactly. And then the last year I was there, we had like 110 degree summer, and it was just really rough. So I was actually talking to my family members about it, and I was like, I just really have to find something different. And my uncle was like, oh, well, I think my work is hiring. And so he put in, he asked around and then put in a good word for me.
Who is your uncle?
My uncle is Mikey,
who's been on here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Works in production, big beard, tattoos.
Yeah. He's a favorite for sure. A lot of personality, I would say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So he told me about the job, and he's like, it's an office job. I don't know if that's what you're looking for. And I was like, actually, that's kind of exactly what I'm looking for. Something that's inside and not out in the elements. So I applied, interviewed, and then I started from the bottom.
Yeah, no, it's great. You worked your way up. You started out as a customer service agent, and now you're managing the department. So kudos to you, and very impressive. Yeah, I think it's funny, and like we're a manufacturer, and there's I don't know how to put this, but like not everybody wants to work outdoors, right?
Yeah.
And so there's it's like a thing, right? So people are like looking certain stages in their life, or in certain situations, and they're like, I want to be indoors, and we get to offer that, which is cool. What's the best part of your job?
Honestly, I'd have to say it's like the feedback that we get from the customers. All of the amazing sentiments that we get sent into us about how, if it weren't for us, it weren't for our boots, they wouldn't be able to fight the fires that they're doing, or other jobs. Like it's very rewarding.
You guys get a lot of kudos for your customer service too. Yeah. It's been a big point of emphasis for us since I started here 2020 or so. I think the cool thing you guys have started doing recently is putting up every week putting up new positive messages that you get from customers and actually putting those up in the production area.
Yeah.
So there's a big whiteboard there. And that was like your guys' idea, which I thought was really smart. I should have thought of that for sure. But can you tell me how the production team reacted to that?
They were blown away. I think, we get a lot of sentiments in for our customer service, but also the craftsmanship of the boots itself. And we have this channel we were sending it into. And at that time, me and Crystal, my supervisor, were talking, and we were like, a lot of these sentiments aren't necessarily directed towards us. So we should show the boot makers what all of our customers are saying about them. So she wrote it up on a big whiteboard back there, and they were so touched by it. They were so happy to see that they're getting so much good feedback.
Well, didn't they do something?
Yep. So everybody in production came together, and they got a card, and they all signed it and said how grateful they were in the card, and gave it to Crystal.
That freaking shocked me.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't shock me, but I'm like, do you send thank you cards?
Rarely.
Yeah.
No.
Do you send thank you cards, Kelsey? No.
Well, depending on the occasion, but not usually.
It's rare, right? It's kind of a
Yeah.
bygone practice from a more civilized age, I would say.
Yeah.
And I think that was really cool that they took the time and the effort to do that. So yeah, that was really awesome. What is your least favorite part?
Oh man, that's a tough one, but I'd probably say having to reprimand people.
Sure.
I mean, we have a great team, obviously, our numbers have improved, and we're getting really good feedback. But there is every now and then, I have to go and have a conversation with somebody and kind of be a little bit more serious, which can be hard.
Yeah, I will say, just from my perspective, there has. Okay, so I'd say the ship has gotten tighter, right? And I think a lot of that is just because, one, we have more resources, but two, I think we have a little more touch points with our people, and I think that's a great thing. Yeah. So yeah, Abby runs a tight ship, and that's been really great to see. What is the worst piece of advice you've ever received?
Oh my gosh, that is a really tough question. I've been told by people, and I'm not saying this is the worst piece of advice. I just don't think it's very good advice, and this has nothing to do with work. But I've been told to never go to bed angry, and I personally feel if you do go to bed angry, you have that time to sleep it off, get a new perspective in the morning, and come back with a whole different mindset.
I think that's a very good. Actually, I think that's correct, because I have had many an unsent Slack that I'm glad I didn't send. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
yes.
Or I'll schedule it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever schedule Slacks?
Yes.
And I'll be like, I'm gonna delete that before that one goes out. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I it's a good, very wise approach there. How many pairs of boots do you own?
Shyler, you've got to answer these questions too.
What?
Yeah. The middle ones are both of you.
Oh, the best part of my job?
Yeah.
I would tend to agree. I'd say just the expression of gratitude. I think I don't know. Obviously a different kind of perspective, and so I don't know that there's necessarily. There are things I like, but it's really more an overarching. It's been really gratifying to see the business grow. Yeah. to see people advance professionally, get paid more, and just kind of see what we've become. You know what I mean? Like, because when we started, we were just such a different company, man. And I don't know that people don't really appreciate that, but because like part of the growth, you're bringing on a lot of new people, right? Who didn't really know what you were like, you know, back in 2020 or, you know, before that. Not that we were like bad or anything like that. It was just like a much simpler operation.
For sure.
And we've definitely gotten a lot better at some things. So it's been really gratifying to see that. So I'd say it's kind of this like overarching sense of progress, I would say. And that's been really cool.
Yeah.
I guess I have some catching up to do. My least favorite part is like the minutia, like the accounting, like the HR, like my goal. I always say this is like the goal of growth for me is like, sure, you know, you want to, you have to make more money, right, in order to grow and absorb more costs in like an ever increasingly expensive world. But a big part of it, man, is I want to hire like people to do my accounting for me and like to do the HR and to do all this stuff that like I'm like okay at it, but I'm not like a super detail oriented person. So it's not a great fit. Like I wouldn't get hired to do this by like anyone else, I don't think. But yeah, so that's my least favorite part. The worst piece of advice you've ever received. This ended up working out in the end, but I could have skipped a few steps. Is in the 90s, so I went to college right in the switch over from like, okay, just go to college and like get a degree. It'll be hard to believe, but it wasn't that as big of a deal, like what your actual degree was in.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of like, okay, you can like show up on time and you can do projects and you can work with other people, et cetera. And by the time I graduated, it was all like, oh, you should be in STEM. You should be, you know, or like business, like you should have like a specific thing that's going to segue you into a role and a job, you know, that's like easily understandable by an employer. And so when I started, I got a sociology degree, like liberal arts, you know, and so I come out and I'm like, wait, what? Like, I should have gone to business school or something. Okay. So it took me a couple years I actually, my first job was I would say like full-time job, like not that wasn't like a part-time thing from like summer or something like that, was as a customer service agent for a company that was like way ahead of its time, too ahead of its time as it turned out. It was called Car Domain. It's no longer around, but it was a combination of a social media site and e-commerce. Okay. So it was like Facebook for cars, kind of. Okay. And then we also sold, aftermarket equipment, basically. Stereo stuff. But I worked my way up to manager, and that was kind of my like first professional achievement, I would say. So look at you, you know, you could be running a boot company someday, you know, you never know.
Maybe.
You never know. So that was not the best advice. Like just go to college and like you'll figure it out, you know? And I'm like, you really should have a plan.
Yeah. Plans are nice.
Yes. Especially with how expensive it is now. Okay. We're caught up. How many pairs of boots do you own?
3. I have a pair of Howards, pair of Chelseas, and my Beccas. I'm about to order my 4th though.
Is it going to be for you?
Yes.
Okay.
It is going to be for me.
Okay. Some employees, and it's fine. Some employees like give it to husbands or fiancés or friends and that sort of thing, which is fine. I understand if you're here for like, some people have been here for like 10 years, right? Yeah. And they're like, okay, I have like 9 pairs of boots.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, do you have a favorite?
The ones I'm wearing right now, which are my Beccas. Yeah. Okay. Most comfortable, lightweight.
What do they look like? Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
They perfect for the office.
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah.
No, those look great. That's a great boot. Actually, we should probably have you do it.
Oh, me ask you the questions?
Yes.
Okay. How many pairs of boots do you?
I actually don't know.
Too many to count? Or?
Yeah, pretty much.
Got
well,
it.
I mean, technically, I really wear like 3 in kind of a sort of a rotation.
Yeah.
I've got like a Howard, which I'm wearing right now, the tan ones. And I've got some British tan, like basically 8-inch urban loggers, and these like resold travelers that are pretty cool.
Yeah.
With a unit lug sole on them now. Kind of I don't know why I don't wear my Builder Pros as much anymore. They're
the black ones.
the
right?
black ones.
Yeah.
I really like those boots.
Yeah.
I did get them rehealed. So they. I just like I got them repaired. I got them rehealed because I'd worn them down and they were kind of like giving me a weird gait, and so I got them rehealed. And I just sometimes I'll do that. I'll like get the boot repaired, and I never really go back to it. Or it takes me a while to go back to it.
Yeah.
But it's also because I own a boot company and I have a crap load of boots.
Yeah. So out of those, which one's your favorite? I feel like I've seen you wear the tan Howards more than any others.
I like the Howards. It's kind of I like the Howards now, right now. I really like the padded collar. I almost thought it was like going to be a little gimmicky. It sounds stupid. Like, why do you launch a product that but it actually really makes a difference on like your Achilles. Kind of that pressure. It's much softer. So if you I don't know, you might think about it because like you don't really notice it with a normal like cut top or whatever. Mm-hmm. But when you get the padded collar, you're like, oh, this is a little cushier,
Yeah.
Yeah, those are probably my favorite, and they're like 6 inches, which I never really thought I would be a 6-inch boot guy, but they're good for kind of this as the weather's warming up and that sort of thing. Yeah.
The Howards were my first pair with the padded collar, so I didn't have anything to compare them to because I got those the first year that I was here, and then I wore them. I was obsessed with them, and then like I started trying different things. So I got my Becca's next, and I remember when I got my Howards, production was making fun of me because they're a lug sole, and they're like, "Why do you need a lug sole? You're walking around in the office. You don't need a lug sole." I'm like, I hike. Like I do things outside of the office.
Yeah.
But after wearing those for a while and how heavy they were, I was like, I need something that's lighter.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's where the Becca came in.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay. Well, was it a Honey Vibram lug or a
V100?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the honey. I also really like these because they're the Honey Vibrams, and so they're definitely softer on hard surfaces, which is nice. What is something you look for in your boots?
Honestly, I just want them to be comfortable. That's like a huge thing. I think with all footwear, a lot of times, like I'm a very tall person. I'm 6 foot. So when I'm looking for shoes, I always have to go for a bigger size, and it's either too wide or I like ruin them super fast because they don't fit me properly. So I always like with my Vans, like the toe goes out really quickly or I like get a hole there. So as long as they are comfortable and they fit me right, and then, they just last. Like I said, I'm pretty rough on shoes. So most of my shoes are like have holes in them because I wear them so much. So if I find something that actually fits me properly, like I wear it a lot. And I've been wearing my Becca's for probably over a year now, and I haven't had to have any repairs done on them. Like they're still in great condition, especially now that they're broken in.
Perfect.
What do you look for in a pair of quality boots?
I think like as I'm getting older, I'm getting softer, and so I like a softer sole, basically. So I kind of need to get on that. Like I've been looking for like more options because we don't really. I mean, because it's kind of like okay, wedge or Honey Vibram right now.
Yeah.
Sierra is pretty comfy too. So maybe that's something I should look at. But yeah, like. I asked Vibram, like, do you make is there a black version in the Honey Vibram compound? And there's not. And so, like, not really. Like, not that would work well for our boots. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of on the lookout. There's like not very many sole manufacturers out there, man. Like, I mean, at least that have any kind of cachet or name recognition. I think debating like Havea. Okay, there's like a company called Havea Lactae. It's like, I think it means like rubber milk or something, but it's made from latex, like straight up rubber, basically. It's super soft. I think it's like pure.
Did Lucas have samples?
Yeah, we've got some samples.
Yes.
We've had some issues attaching them, like on some of the tests, like. So that's one reason why we haven't kind of released that, but we're still kind of working on that, trying to figure that out. But I think that could be an interesting option.
Those were very soft.
Yeah,
I really like those.
They do, like, they wear very quickly. So it's you almost have to have like a different, I don't know, it's almost a different vibe. Like, it's like, how do we make this really easy to resole? Because you'll be resoling these fairly frequently.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Do you see your questions?
Yep.
All right.
All right. So, if you had to survive in the wilderness with only one item, what would it be?
Like a cell phone?
That's a good answer. Yeah.
I'm shocked your answer wasn't immediately a pair of Nick's boots.
A cell phone so you can order a pair.
I'm naked? Is this like Naked and Afraid?
No, but like, Nicks are considered a tool on a lot of job sites.
I guess I assumed I was like
already wearing exactly what he's wearing now.
In my getup.
Right. Yeah.
But yes, you would obviously need high quality footwear.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kelsey. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's good. Yes.
Okay. Next question. What is a completely useless talent that you have?
Is ping pong useless?
Kinda, unless.
I'm a very good ping pong player.
Unless you like
Okay.
professionally are in tournaments or something, I would call it useless.
Yeah.
I'm like a very good in your basement, like at a party or something like that. It's a very high chance that I'll be the best ping pong player at any event.
Wow.
Okay. We need to have a ping pong tournament now.
Okay. I'm also amazing at beer pong.
Okay. Interesting.
I have really good hand-eye.
Really bad at beer pong.
Well, usually I start pretty bad, and then after a couple drinks, I get a little better. That's usually how it goes.
Nah. Just bad the whole time.
Yeah, no, I'm like it's stupid, but it's.
And
I mean, college was fun, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So this one is actually so funny that you put this in here. I ask employees this during like the interview process.
Do you really?
Yes.
I
And
didn't
I've
know
gotten
that.
some interesting answers.
What's the best answer?
Okay, so let me read the question. If every time you walked into a room, a dramatic sound played, what would it be?
For me, that the red-tailed hawk sound? It's like an eagle. It's like eagles actually don't sound cool. I don't know if they sound like it's a weird sound.
Yeah.
But the hawk sound is like the classic. It's always in like westerns.
Yes.
When you're
I know
seeing
exactly
like
what you're talking
the
about.
pan of like a vista or something like that.
Yep.
It's that is a red-tailed hawk sound actually.
Interesting. Okay.
And so I think I would like that would be cool.
Yeah.
So it's like the actual the
You
sound that
you
the
need to
actual
play
animal
this
sounds?
that sound.
I'll try to find it.
You
yeah.
totally can. It's like probably one of the most iconic sounds
Yeah.
out there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll find it.
Yeah, when I've used this, instead of sound, it was song. And I've gotten the Lego Batman song.
Oh.
I'm Still Standing.
Like
by
I'm
Elton
happy.
John.
Like happy.
Which one?
What's the Lego Batman song?
I don't even know.
Oh, actually, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
that's-
even know.
Happy's a different song.
I assumed that it would be.
Oh,
just-
I'm thinking the Lego movie. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lego movie
With-
is great.
Lord Business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris Pratt is
Yep.
Emmett.
Yep. Will Ferrell's Lord Business. Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of interesting answers to this question.
Great.
What about you?
What about me?
This is always the fun. Yeah, this is fun. I would like you to answer that question.
What sound would?
Yeah.
The first thing that comes to mind is the trumpet. The like sad trumpet.
That one?
No, the.
Oh, wah, wah.
What? I don't picture that. No
That's
way.
not dramatic.
I mean, it could be.
All right, we'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay, so anything else you'd like to add before we sign off?
I don't think so. I think we got through all those questions.
Cool. Good job with the questions, Kelsey. Not with the answers, but good job with the questions.
I do what I can.
To you, thank you so much for watching, listening, and for being a customer or thinking of being a customer. We couldn't do it without you, and you know where to find us if you have any questions. Yeah. And we hope you have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Thank you to those who serve and have served, and of course, we honor those who are not with us anymore. We will talk to you next week. Thanks so much for your time. Bye.